Pontiac is getting some love out of the Dream Cruise, and that is a lot because of the M1 Concourse. With that, let's bring in the CEO, Jordan Zlotoff. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, Ronnie. It's good to be here. Appreciate it.
So when I heard the news come out about the changes to what was happening, or I said Dream Cruise, but it's really the auto show, right?
Correct. Yeah.
See, I'm not a car person. I get these events all confused, especially after the auto show moved from January. It was going to move to the summer, and then summer didn't happen. And now it looks like it's not actually going to happen next year either, but they came up with a new event. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So the auto show has been dealing with a little bit of adversity lately. Obviously, having to cancel last year with the new summer date that a lot of us were looking forward to. So that was a big move. So there's a decision made, and it was announced just a few weeks ago that the North American International Auto Show wouldn't be happening in its current format that's usually held at Cobo Hall, now TCF Center, downtown Detroit, like we're all used to. Really, a decision was made in large part out of COVID concerns and whether or not we'd be able to have big indoor events come the fall. And we just couldn't risk having another year without a big automotive activation in Detroit. So at M1 Concourse, we're an 87-acre outdoor motorsports and entertainment venue. We have a 1.5 mile performance track. We're also home to the world's largest private garage community. So it's a place where people store cars, but they actually build these garages into entertainment suites. And it's like having a private luxury box at a sports stadium, except instead of overlooking basketball or football, you're overlooking Porsches or Corvettes or Ferraris flying around our 1.5 mile track. So the Detroit Auto Dealers Association, which puts on the auto show, is going to be able to use our venue in a way that the traditional auto show hasn't utilized before, which is on-track activations, demonstrations, performance driving. We're looking at off-road courses, at a big scale, as opposed to just the smaller ones because of the limitations of the indoor facility. So this will all be happening at M1 Concourse in September of this year. And it's really going to be a unique opportunity for all the automotive brands, both domestic based here in Detroit and the foreign ones, to showcase their products in a way that we haven't seen before. So really exciting news for Pontiac, obviously us here at M1 Concourse. And, I think this is a big opportunity for the show to present something new and fresh to customers that are looking for something more experiential than just looking at a static car in a showroom.
I really love this, and I think it's a perfect fit because I've had to cover the auto show years and years and years and years, and look at this car, And for me, I'm like, hey, does it have heated seats? Does it have a heated steering wheel? I'm good. But with that too, I know that they really wanted to try to start getting some of these events and outdoors. That was one of the reasons behind moving the auto show into the warmer months, because January is not always so nice to hang out outdoors in downtown Detroit. And so, of course, last year it's going to be the first big year for that, and then it didn't happen because of COVID. So for this to happen, it's like it is a perfect fit. And I wonder if post-pandemic, this could be something that sticks around as well.
Yeah, so we were in partnership discussions with the Detroit Auto Dealers Association about doing something at M1 Concourse for a while. We didn't know we'd be moving the whole event and activation here. In the sort of stars just aligned, and given concerns around COVID, we were happy to host it and roll out the red carpet for them. But we certainly think there's a lot of opportunity in future years. I know there's a lot of folks that want to see a more traditional show move back to Detroit. I don't think we're in competition with Detroit. I think we offer a unique venue to showcase vehicle capabilities and experiential type automotive activations that can't be held in a traditional convention center. So I think the future is bright in terms of using all the different assets, all the different venues, conference centers, tracks, outdoor spaces, off-road courses, for Detroit to have something really special over other cities like the New York Auto Show or the LA Auto Show, or the ones that happen in Europe. And you might be familiar, we already do some of these more off the wall type automotive events. Each year we've hosted an event called Roadkill Nights, where we actually shut down Woodward Avenue, and we do legal eighth of a mile drag racing right on the street. We're doing that at the same time we're doing drift rides in our arena event pad area. We're doing performance hot laps in vehicles on the north loop of our track. We also have the big car show and static displays as well. So I think we're just scratching the surface for what cool things can really be done in terms of automotive events. And we have actually 4 big events already planned for the fall. We haven't made an official announcement, but we're hopeful to do roadkill nights again this year. Obviously, we'll be hosting Motorbella. During the Woodward Dream Cruise, we'll be hosting an event here called the Woodward Dream Show. So an event that really focuses a lot of the great things about the Dream Cruise here at M1. So putting on a really cool car show that features some of the best and most spectacular cars of that day. And then a little later in the fall, a week after Motorbella, we're holding something called the American Speed Festival, which is going to be a showcase of performance vehicles, both vintage and current performance cars. And we're going to be doing time trials on the track. And I just can't think of a more exciting lineup from August to October of really unique events that we'll be hosting here.
Since you just mentioned time trials, I think that's the perfect time for me to bring Bubbles over. That's my smart car.
Well, as we were talking about before we got on the air, we don't have a track record with a smart car, so I think we're going to have to test out its performance capabilities on the track. We have an autocross course that we set up, and I'd be willing to bet it's an extremely well-handling car on the autocross course, where it's not about pure horsepower and performance. It's a lot about hand speed and handling. So I think we could have a lot of fun with it.
Exactly. Hey, Jordan, do you name your cars? Or do you have too many?
No, I don't have a huge collection, but here at M1 Concourse, we're a family business. My father is a big collector, so he has a number of historic vehicles that he keeps here on site at our venue in his garage. So I don't have a name for my car, but I know a lot of our other garage owners do. And then vanity plates are the other one, which everyone has maybe not everyone, but a lot of folks have fun vanity plates that they like to put on their cars because, it's about having fun. For some people, cars are about going from A to B and getting me there cost effectively and just comfortably. But for other people, it's an expression of themselves. It's a place where they go for enjoyment, amusement. It's a collectible. It brings back a part of history. It's an art form. It's an engineering marvel. And that's what we celebrate here. And that's what unites all of our garage owners, our club members, and then certainly our visitors who come to M1 for our public events. So it's a really special place that celebrates what Detroit is about and the automotive culture that's a part of our fabric here.
Yeah, it really is a part of our fabric. And plus, not only that, but our economy as well, because there are so many different facets to the automotive industry, and that has that trickle-down impact into every community and every neighborhood here in the greater Detroit area.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's another place in the world that has the concentration of not only the OEMs and manufacturers, but the tier one suppliers, and all the other components that go into the supply chain for the automotive process, not to mention restoration, aftermarket, and the ancillary components to the car business. It's a huge part of the economy, and we're excited to be a part of it and capture all the automotive business and interest that's here in Detroit.
When you guys were coming up with the M1 Concourse and you were, trying to get your plans together as to where to build the facility, did you give any thought to doing it somewhere outside of the Metro Detroit area?
Yeah. So, going back 5, 6, 7 years ago, when we were scouting locations for the venue, there were many places that we were looking for and looking at around the area. I can tell you it was a big stroke of luck that we found our current site. So we're in the city of Pontiac, right at the corner of Woodward Avenue and South Boulevard. Obviously, being on Woodward Avenue and all of the history behind the oldest paved road in America is huge. But even more than that, being so close to everyone within the metropolitan area. If you go around the country, you look at other performance tracks or racetrack facilities, they're built anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 hours outside the actual facility. They're difficult to get to. There's often very little around them in terms of restaurants, hotels, amenities. So we're built on the site of a former General Motors manufacturing facility. It was actually torn down in the early 2000s, and we won the right to develop this property from the federal government. It was put into an entity called the Racer Trust for repurposing former automotive facilities. So the fact that we were able to find this 87-acre parcel that needed development, and also that we were in the city of Pontiac, which was looking for creative development, interesting ideas to boost the economy and attract people to the city. We were very fortunate, and that's difficult to find, and why facilities like M1 Concourse are difficult to replicate across the country, and maybe haven't enjoyed as much success because one, they're not in Detroit, and Detroit just has the largest concentration of enthusiasts. I mean, you can't pick a better city to build a venue like ours in, but also we are just so close to the neighborhoods in Oakland County where there is this concentration. We're 15 minutes from Birmingham, 20 minutes from Royal Oak. You can get to Detroit in 30 minutes. So really, we're 30 to 40 minutes from anywhere you could possibly be in Metro Detroit. It just makes it so convenient, and you can come out here for a small event, spend an hour or two here, and then go back home, as opposed to having to take your entire day off to go visit a track that might be, several hours in a rural community outside the city. So we looked at a lot of different places and plots where we could build this, and we were very fortunate to find this one here in Pontiac.
But I think you moving there too is really going to reshape that area, which needed it desperately because it was a vacant lot for the longest time.
Pontiac is going through a huge revitalization. We are one small part of it, and we're proud to, but give a lot of credit to United Shore, United Wholesale Mortgage, which is are expanding their campus just down the street. Williams International, just down the street as well. The downtown, the redevelopment of the Strand Theater in downtown Pontiac. So very exciting things happening for the city. And more businesses are seeing Pontiac as an attractive place to relocate, to bring their employees, and to grow their business.
Yeah, I was sad though to see that restaurant right around the corner close. I forget the name of it, but it had the racing theme to it. They had great burgers. But I was by there the other day and I saw that they have closed down. So hopefully though, that's such a good location. Someone's going to have to pick it back up.
Yeah, well, we're actually opening our own restaurant on property in the fall. So come September, we will have completed a 30,000 square foot event center and restaurant. So this will allow us to hold indoor, corporate, private events, as well as there'll be a public restaurant with a second level rooftop patio that overlooks the track. So we can invite the public in for meals and drinks, essentially 7 days a week. So it's a brand new chapter for us. So we think we're going to have the best location in town for burgers and drinks and all other fare, sitting right next to the track in pit lane. So we're excited to see that open, and it's all currently under development. We send out a weekly a monthly construction video update via our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram. So you can actually see the progress right now. And we're also completing another 60,000 square feet of new garages. It's another 82 individual units, 3 new buildings. And like I said, we're the world's largest private garage community last year, and we're just expanding that each year. So lots of fun developments happening here at M1.
I think it's great that you're going to have a restaurant there that's going to be open to the public, because you can see like a new generation of car enthusiasts being born out of that, because it's going to be a place where, parents can take their kids and they can sit there and enjoy this together and continue that culture. Because you wonder too, a lot of the young kids now, a lot of them don't even want to get their driver's license. I don't understand that. It was like, hey, I had a moped. I was like, as soon as I could get my freedom with that driver's license, I was off. But some of the, the newer generation, they don't necessarily want to drive. They'll take an Uber or Lyft. So I think if they can get that culture and continue, because it is more than just getting behind the wheel and getting from point A to point B.
The fascinating thing about the automotive enthusiast, let's just say population, or folks that are interested in cars, is there's so many unique niches. Some folks are interested in hot rods and rat rods. Some are interested in modern, exotic performance track cars. But I can tell you, we have groups that are all about mopeds, all about motorcycles. We actually have a group that likes to tune Saturn Ions, the old Saturn coupes, and trick them out and make them performance vehicles. There's actually a club that owns the General Motors Winnebagos that used to be built on our property, and they will bring them out. So all these groups are on display for our Cars and Coffee events. We hold them 5 times a year at M1 Concourse on Saturdays. They're free to the public. We serve coffee and donuts. And it's just a great way to have an open air car show and see the full diversity of these automotive interests that everyone has. So it's really cool. And the fact that we're going to have a restaurant, the public can come in every day, is just going to be a very unique and dynamic element for us to have here.
Jordan, have you had any previous employees from GM that used to work at that site come and visit and see what you guys have done with the area?
All the time. It's unbelievable how many folks come through and say, you know, I used to work at the validation center here. I used to work at the assembly plant when it was here. So we're very connected to the community, and a lot of people remember when the plant used to be here and what a difference it made for Pontiac. And they're excited to see this new development that's come on its heels and really transform the area.
Do any of the automotive companies bring some of their test vehicles out there? And do you get like sneak peeks at all?
All the time. I would say that we primarily do more unveilings, marketing events, launches. A lot of the testing is held in proving grounds that the facilities own and have. We will occasionally do testing, a lot of times for the smaller manufacturers who may not have a dedicated facility. But we're doing photo shoots all the time. Particularly with Ford, with the launch of the new Mustang. We did a lot of the photo shoots here. This was just over the summer. But cars from all the manufacturers, GM, FCA, foreign brands, it's a great place to shoot videos. And when it's time to launch, to bring in media, to bring in outside clients, especially because these brands may not want the media seeing the other test cars or the other prototypes or the other, skunk works projects they have going on. They can just roll out the cars that they're going to unveil, showcase it to their clients, to the media and the world, and we're a perfect place to do that.
I saw one of the Mustangs on the freeway the other day, and I have to say, I'm confused. I'm confused with that marketing because it looks like an SUV to me, and also it's an electric car. Like part of the Mustang is the sound, the revving of the engine. What were your thoughts when you saw it? Did you get to drive it?
So I haven't driven it yet, and I know you're referring to the Mach-E, the new electric SUV. I love anything that pushes boundaries. I know that model in particular was very controversial amongst the very loyal Mustang following that Ford has, but there's no question we're moving in the direction of electrification. We're moving towards more and more SUVs or CUVs, compact utility vehicles. But I like companies that take risks, are bold, push the boundaries, and try to, meet unique customer needs. So I applaud any company that's going to put something out in the market that is transformative and gets people talking, because that's what it's all about in my mind.
People are definitely talking about it. And I do like what the vehicle looks like. It's just that Mustang brand that they shifted. And I will say, after having my smart car, it is a second car because mine only gets 70 miles to the charge. So it's perfect around Kego, and I can make it to Pontiac and back and those areas. But I do have an SUV for it to be able to actually get to Detroit and back and forth.
Ronnie, you didn't tell me your smart car was the electric version of the smart car. That's like a unicorn in the Detroit area. So I don't know if I've actually seen that car in person. So now we're definitely gonna have to get it out here on the track. Because that's again just a really unique, fun car, and there's very few of them out there. So you're welcome anytime.
Definitely. It's the funniest thing is that when my husband drives it, people are it's a clown car, but then once they actually get in and drive it, they're all like, it's much bigger than you think it is, and it's very zippy.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of the electric powertrains. There's no question all the manufacturers are moving in that direction, releasing new models. GM in particular has a huge mission to accomplish that, but all the manufacturers are releasing incredible new cars. And they're, like you said, they're a ton of fun to drive, and they offer performance capabilities that the gas engines don't. So I think as consumers get in them and try them, you're going to win a lot of people over. Just like you're saying, get your husband in the car and it puts a smile on their face before they know it.
Yeah, he thought I was crazy when I brought it home. I didn't tell him. I just showed up. I was like, hey, I bought this car. He was like, what? Why? With that, Jordan, I will say one thing, if they want electric cars to become more common, they definitely have to address the issue of having charging stations and enough places because, if you're driving to grandma's house in Ohio, you want to be able to make sure you can get there and get back. So, I mean, there is an app for people with smart car or with electric cars to show you where you can charge your vehicle and things of that nature. Jordan, it's always great having you with us. We love having you in the Pontiac neighborhood and right here in our backyards. Again, your social media for people, where can they keep up with everything that's happening out there? Because you guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So follow us at m1concourse.com is our website. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So our handles are at M1Concourse. So please join us. You can sign up for our mailing list on our website or follow us on any of the social media feeds. But a lot of exciting things happening. We make posts frequently. So please check us out and hope some of your listeners are going to join us for the events we have lined up this year.
Great to have you with us. Anything I didn't maybe touch on that you want to add before we let you go?
You know what? You hit it. Just we're very excited. The Cars and Coffee events we have lined up this year. We'll have an annual 4th of July fireworks show. We're going to have a big launch when our event center and restaurant is ready to open, and we do the ribbon cutting. Very excited about potentially putting together roadkill nights again and the drag racing on Woodward, and the Woodward Dream Show on Dream Cruise weekend, and the American Speed Festival the week after the Motorbella event. And of course, Motorbella, it's going to be a huge marquee event in the Detroit area with the Detroit Auto Dealers Association hosting the big automotive activation here at M1 Concourse. So that's at motorbella.com. You can read all the details about the Detroit Auto Show building a new event here at M1 Concourse.
You guys are very busy over there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on and a lot of blocking and tackling to do every day, but it's exciting. I mean, we have fun doing this, and it's just a great place to be.
Well, again, we're so lucky to have you in our backyard, and we wish you and your team, because I know it's a lot of hard work as well, continued success, because definitely a lot of people enjoy what you guys have out there, again, at Woodward and South Boulevard. Jordan, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you for hosting me, and you're welcome anytime at M1 Concourse.